About to go live. See you there.
Hey, Jake's back and he's got his own show. He's on the mic and he's ready to go. Noodle on his left, Jess on his right. Hey, hold up, don't start a fight. He's got you covered with all the sports. Don't fret, he's wearing shorts. It's time for Waking Jake in the morning, Waking Jake at night. Jake sucks.
Woo. Good morning, Bakers. What is going on, everybody? And welcome, welcome to Wake and Jake. Myself, Big Baby David Mendelson on the ones and twos. Jake Storielli, you probably know that. Happy Thursday. Almost said happy Monday. It's been one of those weeks that I've just, you lose track of the days. Yesterday got a little wonky on us. Jerry Blevins, 13-year MLB reliever. People forget that. Shea Station, Oakland A's, Mets. Where else did he bop around?
Got involved with the Nats a little bit. Braves at the very end.
Bravos. Jerry was awesome. We like Jerry. First time in here.
Draft pick.
Built differently than a lot of people in the office. There's some screenshots. I think I'm going to post a screenshot from JJR later because the wide shot, we just
Hilarious.
look like different. We look like different people.
I knew like 6'4", 180, whatever the numbers were, and when he walks in person,
I didn't realize 6'4".
I think that's what Baseball Reference has.
Wow. Okay. So then
He's tall.
Then that makes a little more sense. I guess you get a little distracted by the lettuce, the hair.
You just kind of don't think about his height as one of the first things, at least not these days.
Yeah. And like MLB, it blends in.
Yeah, there's enough dudes in that area.
We had fun on JJR yesterday talking baseball. We did a reliever draft that was fun. Go check that out. And just a good dude. Good dude. Sometimes we're East Coast elitists. He's a mid coast elitist.
That's the word.
Mid America elitist. He's not. He's just a nice guy. So we had fun with Jerry. We even did something afterwards that I don't know if we can announce. We did a video game tournament that, Fail in the chat, I was going to be sneaky about it. We did Mario Kart, which I'm sure is close to a lot of you, and is a lot of fun, and it's probably going to be 5 or 6 videos, and I think it was a lot of fun. I think you guys are going to like the content. Even if you're not a traditional gamer person, Mario Kart,
It tickles, it scratches an itch for a lot
a
of people.
lot of people's heartstrings are close to that. So, with all that being said, it is Thursday. It is December 16th. We're through the halfway point of December. Holidays are next week. Christmas Eve a week from tomorrow.
Wow.
Christmas Eve a week from tomorrow, and then it's 2022. The big news in the sports world, Urban Meyer is fired. Who could have seen it coming? Dropped at 12:30 a.m. Wednesday heading into Thursday. I don't want to say unreal, but, just a hilarious. What a hilarious dump time. Who knows what other stories are about to leak about it. And I think there's some parallels. It's funny. I mentioned it yesterday on Talking Baseball. And again, sometimes I feel weird relaying other podcast stuff via our shows or our podcasts. But it was so funny. I wanted to click around to some articles to see what other stuff I've missed or forgotten about the Urban Meyer tenure. reminder, so some of the details that might be important for you. Signed a 6-year contract last January. So didn't make it to the 1-year mark. Which, that's funny. If you remember, I had forgotten about this. He hired the Iowa strength coach that got fired for doing, I forget if it was racist stuff or if it was, I can look it up quick, but it was a news story. Iowa strength coach.
Racist remarks and bullying.
Yes. And that was one of Urban Meyer's first hires, was bringing that guy in. The other one, this was more of a Colin Cowherd thing, but he said, you remember they invited Tebow to camp to try out a tight end? I don't mind that one as much. I get that there's a media circus tied to it with Tebow, but you're also the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah.
And it's a business.
It's not like you're bringing him in for quarterback against Lawrence.
And there's a connection. That's part of Urban Meyer. I get that. We won titles at Florida. This guy's one of the best competitors I know. If you beat him out in camp, then you beat him out. There's something there. I get that it never seemed real. None of the Tebow stuff ever seems real.
Yeah. As a throw in as part of all of this, it's worth noting.
It's just at this point, it's just. At this point, it's kind of nothing. But
it is nothing. But it's oh, by the way, this happened. It was just weird.
Yeah, it was just the point Cowherd was trying to get across was if you're a college coach or any young coach at the NFL level, you kind of need that assistant to lean on, like the Norv Turner or the guy that's been a head coach and maybe it didn't work out or they've spent 30 years in the NFL. Because it's just different, man. It's why Nick Saban loves being at Bama. You control everything for 4 years, or if you're an absolute stud, 3 years. You answer to every request that Nick Saban or, Kirby Smart or any of the great college coaches, that's their world. You are there. They control you, more or less. I know things are loosening up with transfer rules and stuff like that, but also think about that. Think about if you're a big recruit and you're a sophomore and you're third on the depth chart and you're going to transfer schools, and what if you're not there, and then, what's think about moving. That's kind of, I know college kids, sometimes we jump back to that age and things are easy, but it's also not. You've probably made friends on campus. Do you guys like your friends? So that's the thing. When you're a college coach, and this is what Urban Meyer was good at too, you control everything. And it's almost, college football is almost like a family compared to NFL being a business. College, you meet some of your best friends and you do all that stuff. You hear guys still talk about it to this day. Jerry Blevins was talking about it. Who was his teammate he was talking about his teammate at Dayton. It was another relief pitcher. Stammen? Was Stammen at Dayton?
Stammen from Dayton.
We all have those connections, and if you didn't go to college, just that time in your life, we all have a connection to friends and people from that timeline and you also kind of need some rules to guide you, it's not a bad thing. Then, you're in the NFL, you become a man. If you're a 10-year NFL veteran and someone starts, giving you college football stuff and treating you like an 18-year-old, that will never work. It's been proven. And the other thing, so, I think I gave some original thoughts there, but I mentioned it yesterday, and I think it's so funny that it was in the news today. People are comparing it to Bobby Petrino. And hey, maybe the Pardon My Take guys are just genius and on a different level. They had Joey Harrington on the other day. Listen to that interview. It was pretty good. And Joey Harrington, again, Oregon quarterback, you either know or you have no idea. He was a big deal, Heisman Trophy one of the first guys to take Oregon to the next level and let them become the college program they've become today. He was talking about he was on, I believe, the 2007 Atlanta Falcons, which were in the news today. And I believe that's the right year. Joey Harrington was the backup quarterback to Michael Vick. And that was the year that the dog fighting scandal happened, and Vick was off the team. Bobby Petrino was the head coach. If you don't know Bobby Petrino, had some success at college, took the Atlanta Falcons job. Wasn't working out because he was another college head coach. And by the way, there's more and more stories about Bobby Petrino now. A lot of people know the famous one was on his motorcycle with his like, not fling, affair. Yeah, got into an accident, did a press conference in a neck brace, like a bizarro, evil Michael Scott football coach was like Bobby Petrino. And man, so let's bring this back to the Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence and everything. We talk so much about young quarterbacks because they're essentially a business. Like going back to the NFL being business, if you're an NFL quarterback and you're in that top 10 of NFL quarterbacks, like a lot of people get caught up on Matt Stafford or whoever it is. Like Jared Goff, when he got his big payday, quarterbacks are like the starting pitchers where they keep pushing the price. When your time is up to get paid, like if Joe Burrow even is what he is right now, like he's probably going to get a little better. When it's time to get paid, he's going to get paid like one of the top quarterbacks and get a crazy payday.
Almost certainly break every record besides Mahomes.
Because he's going to be, 26, 27, young star quarterback in Cincinnati, which again, like not for Joe Burrow, it actually is a pool, which again, I've given you guys this speech before. But man, Trevor Lawrence, like, I don't think he should be compared to Joey Harrington at all. Trevor Lawrence came out. Trevor Lawrence is a different quarterback than Joey Harrington when he came out. But now, this is week 15, and we're going to talk some playoffs and the weekend preview and all that stuff. But man, I mean, you basically just flushed the first 15 weeks of Trevor Lawrence's career down the toilet. So I'm really interested to see Shad Khan, the owner of the Jags, is silly rich. And I wonder if having to pay Urban Meyer whatever he has to pay Urban Meyer affects the next coaching candidate. You really hope not for a guy that wealthy and a young quarterback that, I mean, Trevor Lawrence still has a ton of potential, but like you kind of got to get in there quick. Because if you fire another dud head coach, I mean, next year would be a wash. That would be 2 years of bad quarterback play. Trevor Lawrence,
generally speaking, like the first year is whatever,
right?
But next year he's got to show you something, even if it doesn't fully click.
Excuse me.
And you gotta go get the right coach.
And I don't want to be damning Trevor Lawrence, because I don't think it is. I think he's still crazy talented. Think of the skill positions around him. Like, what guys can you name on the Jaguars? Even if you're in the fantasy football weeds, like, I think Robinson, the running back, was having a decent year.
Yeah, he's missed time.
But still, like, he's not a guy in the NFL. Like, not to be rude.
I think any guys you would have thought of before the season, I believe, have gotten hurt or done nothing.
Carlos Hyde was getting a ton of carries. He's been, like, a non-impact NFL guy for a while, but he was an Urban Meyer guy, Ohio State. So there's that. I think, again, the PMT guys were joking, does he know where the bodies are for Urban, which that's fun. Laviska Shenault, like, I don't know. I don't know. Usually that second year, we see this with a lot of quarterbacks. The first year they take their lumps. The second year they go out and they get the running back, and they get a wide receiver, and they get a tight end, and they're like, well, they've got the tools now.
It's usually their second year in a system.
Marvin Jones is there. I think he's been hurt a lot.
I think he's been hurt. And
didn't he have an Urban Meyer run-in?
I'm trying to think of the other dude. Got hurt early.
Okay. Anyways, I hope they bring in
DJ
a coach.
Chark.
DJ Chark, I like him.
He's a good player. He's been hurt all year.
And I mean, baby.
He broke his ankle week 1.
Baby Chark. I guess here's my thing. I have the Jaguars depth chart up now. James Robinson, Carlos Hyde, Etienne Jr. got hurt out for the year. And he was supposed to be him and Trevor Lawrence, Clemson, sure. Marvin Jones Jr., Laquan Treadwell, Laviska Shenault, DJ Chark on the IR, Tavon Austin.
Treadwell.
Yeah.
I wanted the Giants to get him so bad.
Yeah, I mean, he was one of those draft guys that was like, oh, he's a beast.
Didn't work out.
Starting tight end is listed as James O'Shaughnessy, Chris Manhertz, Luke Farrell, and Jacob Hollister.
Right.
Haven't seen a lot of them on the fantasy radar. So, with all that being said, get a coach, arguably with NFL experience. I think the comparison I'm going to make is a guy I was high on and I had a little bit of egg on my face the previous year, and I think we talked to Bobby Skinner about this. Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy with the Dallas Cowboys. Remember, the Cowboys hired him, and everyone thought it was pretty soft. Like, oh, McCarthy, Rodgers got rid of him. Hey, last episode I complimented Rodgers and their new head coach because his record is incredible. Why am I blanking right now? Matt LaFleur. Mike McCarthy came in, and it wasn't pretty. And, again, I don't know if he's an elite head coach. I don't know how many matchups you walk in and you say the Cowboys have the advantage today because of Mike McCarthy. But he was an NFL head coach for the Packers for a long time, and they won a lot of games. Mike McCarthy's record in the NFL, let me see if this is right, 140, 91, and 2. So he had Aaron Rodgers. I get it. Like a lot of NFL coaches, if you gave them Aaron Rodgers, they'd have a good record. But, again, think of the chaos and everything that's ensues and running a tight practice and being an NFL, which is a business, not a family. Like Mike McCarthy had done that. So, I mean, the formula seems pretty simple. Get a head coach with some NFL experience. And then get the sexy coordinator, because all of your eggs are in Trevor Lawrence right now. So I don't know who that is. Or I don't even know, what's Josh McDaniels still interested in? I know he was a nightmare with the Broncos because he was a young coach that didn't know what he's doing. He's older now. Has he learned? Does he want to be a head coach? If he does, I bet he's drooling to have Trevor Lawrence. I don't know. Get someone with experience at the NFL level and give Trevor Lawrence a chance, because bringing it back to Joey Harrington, BBD, this one might blow your mind. The Lions coaches, 1 year when he was there, they walked out on the team. Just said, we're out.
We're good.
So that probably wasn't good for young Joey. He also tells the story that like he had West Coast offense guys, Bill Walsh, when that still spoke in the NFL, and they basically did everything that you hear you don't do with a young quarterback. They were like, hey, I know you're not good at this, but we're doing this. And it's like, well, that's just not how it works. Look at Kyler Murray. If you told him to play traditional NFL quarterback, it would be a disaster. But if you let him be Kyler Murray. And then, so following up, Joey Harrington, he ends up backing up Michael Vick, who, that whole Bobby Petrino story I just told you. So, it just moves quick, man. All of these, you never see an NFL quarterback that you say that guy's not talented. Like, why are they there? I don't get it. Like, the only one is kind of Tebow. Like, his throws got ugly at times. But he was also a physical freak and played differently. And I bet you if Tim Tebow was coming out of college this year, a team would draft him in the first round, and they
They'd
try
have a
to
better idea how to use him.
look at
there.
Kyler, look at Hurts. Like, I know they throw a better ball, but like it's the same formula.
I think a team would try to actually build around it now.
They would take the chance. So I hope the Jaguars figure it out, and they still very much have a chance to, and it's going to be better than what just happened. And then Urban Meyer, I think we're going to be hot to trot about him for a little bit. If there was any recent news, like I think all the good college coaching jobs are gone, so I don't expect any Urban news soon. I'll be really interested to see if he gets back into the TV stuff, because apparently he was good at that and people liked him.
Hard to imagine he'll be liked.
Just seems too hot right now for me. But again, people move on quick. Like Michael Vick, I just mentioned the dogfighting scandal, pretty laissez-faire. He's on TV now. Ray Lewis.
At least Vic, I think people can reconcile with, well, like he went to prison and all that.
Paid his dues, and everyone has a different scale for all of that stuff. But yeah, man, it's if I had to guess, I think Urban Meyer just sits out next year, doesn't do any TV stuff, maybe even like waits till maybe next college football playoffs or something, and he pops up, and you're like, oh, Urban Meyer, wow, we haven't seen him in a little bit. We started the rumor last episode, Urban Meyer to Florida State. Done. And by the way, Florida State's super pissed. I know we don't do a ton of college football, but it was National Signing Day yesterday, which was, it's kind of fun. It's fun how social media and stuff has got involved. Notre Dame did hype videos for all their guys. My UConn Huskies were posting all their recruits' tapes, and I was laughing. Not in a rude way. I was just clicking to see where they were from, because they just got Jim Mora Jr., so I was seeing if it looked like they weren't recruiting from Connecticut, which is a good thing, and shots fired at my Connecticut. We'll see if any of it matters. But the other big sports story was that Deion Sanders, the number one recruit in the country, was supposed to go to Florida State, where, by the way, Deion Sanders went to college. And Deion Sanders flipped him. And he's going to Jackson State, the HBCU, which, again, what does that mean for college sports? I think this running back can get paid, and the fact he's with Deion and stuff. I don't know. It's really, really interesting.
It sounded like he got.
I think he's already getting paid. Yeah.
He got a deal.
So really interested to see. You never know, man. And dude, things in sports happen so fast. Like Notre Dame, they just hired their new head coach because they got caught in the coaching carousel. Brian Kelly left. Is Marcus Freeman the new head coach?
Currently head coach. Yeah.
So, I don't know. He's 35. You know, maybe Marcus Freeman is awesome. He's the future. He's at Notre Dame for a decade. If Notre Dame has a bad year or something happens in his personal life, like Urban Meyer's a Notre Dame guy, like you don't think that would be on the table? And again, Notre Dame is, I know they get made fun of a lot, but like also when you rank college coaching jobs, like you're going to get to Notre Dame pretty quick. You're going to get to Notre Dame pretty quick.
Even now, there's not a whole lot of places you'd put before, I think.
They've been to a few college football players. Like, if you think Notre Dame's out of the top 10 college jobs, you're out of your mind. And there's, like, an argument it's probably top 5, like, for what they do conference-wise and who they can recruit and history and facilities and all that. So, it's probably going to be a year or so without Urban Meyer, and then get ready to see him in the coaching carousel. Again, we are officially a Urban Meyer to Florida State pod show. And honestly, and I don't know if people are saying this, I'm assuming they are. I think everyone should be happy it's over.
Yeah.
Like it hit an ugly spot.
So quick.
Guy was like petting a girl's butt with his finger at a bar. That he stayed behind from the team plane.
The rest of the team flew home.
And everything I heard from NFL guys was like, the coach comes home on the team plane. So I don't know. That's the Urban Meyer stuff. I know Feo, our guy, he said my reaction to the Meyer news was this will make for an interesting wake and Jake. So glad I can open it up with you guys on that. And that whole thing was brought to you by Bespoke Post. If you want to hear maybe the most passionate ad read in JOMBOY media history, Jerry Blevins uses Bespoke Post, and he loves it, so he was going. Trevor Plouffe, yesterday on Talking Baseball, he got his Bespoke Post package, and he was all sorts of stoked. They gave a little wood barrel. We have one in the office. I think Trev said he put tequila or whiskey in there for 2 weeks, and he said it came out.
Jerry told us he did something like that.
So, Jerry, I brought this out, this glass bottle that
We got with that.
us here at JOMBOY Media just had sitting around the office and didn't really know what to do with. He put a bunch of oranges and lemons in and stuff and then added tequila, and he basically made it infused tequila, and he said it was delicious. So, apparently the people at JOMBOY Media are drinkers. Whoops. But Bespoke Post has a bunch of other stuff, too. Their Box of Awesome. A lot of you probably remember when they sent us our initial stuff. There's like a big knife in there if you're one of those guys. What else was in there? There's something else cool. Oh, BBD's got it. The Jackhawk 3000. Basically, they tailor it to you. You fill out a quiz of stuff you like. And then it's $45. They send you a different box a month. It's a little bit of a treat yourself type deal. And then, if you don't want it, like if you see what's coming in the box, you can say, nah. Like Jerry Blevins says,
skip this month.
I think he said he's had it for 14 months, which was a weird number just to drop.
I think he said 18 months, but I think he said he's
Either way,
taken it 14 of the 18. Or
yeah, like he said, there's been a couple he tapped out on, but then he comes back to the next one. So go check out their Box of Awesome. Get 20% off your first monthly box when you sign up at boxofawesome.com. Enter code Jake. Bakers. This is a Jake one, so I need you. I need you bad. If you got a guy in your life that maybe needs to treat themselves a little bit, or if you are a guy that's trying to treat yourself, evolve a little bit. Box of Awesome. 20% off your first box. Code Jake. Maybe I'll sign up. Maybe I'm just going to bully everyone in the office to sign up. That's leadership. That's Urban Meyer leadership. That didn't feel great. That part didn't feel great. We'll interview him. Who's his agency? With that, again, normally a lot of baseball. Folks, there's just not a ton of baseball to talk about right now. I saw some Yankee rumors leaking that they just weren't interested in Seager, and I guess the industry was surprised in that. When you realize Seager's going to be a third baseman really soon, it makes a lot of sense to the Yanks.
He's going to be a third baseman, I think, at least 7 of the 10 years.
And
that's fine, but
I think that number might be low.
Yeah, it's an at least.
Yeah. But again, the Yankees' young shortstop, so we've done that before. You talk yourself into that. There's really no baseball news. We did Verlander signed, which was kind of funny. It was funny listening to the Compound. The Compound guys were really good about it. They were like, what? So there's no rules? But yeah, baseball's cold in the street. There was one negotiating thing that came out the other day that they were going to sit down and talk non-money stuff like one more time, and then they were going to take a holiday break.
So that's like new playoff format.
Which, by the way, our guy Joe's McFly was on that early. He was like waiting for that report, and then it happened. So that's good. So, I mean, baseball, let's be honest, is going to be pretty dormant through the New Year's. I guess you never know. They could drop some weird bomb on us. Maybe the real fighting will begin around Christmas. Wouldn't that be baseball? That would just be beautiful.
They don't take the Christmas, New Year's off. And
God, they just drop a bomb New Year's Day like we're done negotiating for a year or something. So, with that being said, NBA, again, getting ready for Christmas Day. Maybe we'll bust something out for that. so much COVID in the NBA right now and the NFL and like the world again. I think Toronto just reduced their stadium back down to 50% capacity. So we'll see how crazy that stuff is. Get your booster. Get boosted.
Boosting literally right after this.
Boosting and pooping. I was thinking about doing that. Are you just going to the stadium?
I think so. I mean, I don't like to blow up people's spots, but Sam just walked in on Monday, so
Yeah.
I assume we can just pop in.
I'm debating doing that. Jess's dad comes tomorrow, so I just don't want to be like dead for that. And then
But if there's something to be dead for.
going to check out something this afternoon. So if I time it right, I could like do that, come back, be tired, wake up, and not be miserable. We'll see. You guys don't care about that. I don't know if I care about that. Let's talk this weekend of football, your football weekend. For those that are in fantasy football, big weekend, a lot of first weekend of playoffs. I always laugh. My buddies are idiots in each league every year. I never really know. There's one league that the playoffs aren't this weekend. They start next week. And I was just like, what are we doing? And then I remember one year I was so happy I won a game to get 5th place. And the playoffs started the next week. And I was like, let's go. And then I found out that league only did 4 playoff teams. And I was like, all right, guys. Okay. And they're like, don't you remember we talked? I was like, no, I don't remember shit. Anyways, you will find some of your favorite players or least favorite players, depending the coming weeks. Let's see what we've got on our football weekend. I think it starts with a dynamite one tonight, Thursday night football. Chiefs at Chargers. Who doggy? The Chargers that we've talked about, 8-5, they've redeemed themselves. They had a chance to be the Chargers and kind of have their season get shaky and flaky. They beat the Bengals convincingly. They beat the Giants convincingly. Now they have the Chiefs at home. They played at Kansas City. Kansas City won 30-24 earlier this year. Should be a fun one, man. Chiefs are starting to click. Chargers are clicking. I mean, Mahomes and Herbert, this is, again, one of those rivalries that, like, this could be a thing in the NFL for a while. Like, we talked about Herbert and Burrow. But, like, this is AFC West. These are young stud quarterbacks. Hopefully it's a fun one tonight. And it should be. Because both of these teams, I mean, new NFL is if you go down 2 scores and you can still pass and attack and come back, that's kind of the secret sauce, and both of these teams are never out. It's in SoFi, big game for the Chargers. That should be fun. We'll all tune into that. Nothing else on the sports slate tonight. I know our Knicks play. They play Houston. That's kind of a sad boy game, though, right?
Yeah, is that
between
tonight?
COVID and everything else.
I think that's
Tomorrow?
Friday.
Tomorrow? Okay.
It doesn't pop up at the top. No, it is tonight. It is tonight.
Okay. And yeah, I think that game, like every game, so I'll stop saying it. I saw someone in the chat, will Chris Jones play, the star D lineman? I think he's going through some COVID program. Every game this weekend has so much of that like I don't even think I can deep dive. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of pivotal guys on each side that, depending some tests in the coming hours, we'll see if they're there. Either way, that should be a fun one. I think the Chargers, Eckler got hurt early last game, and they, benched him and saved him for this game. So that's kind of cool when teams are, eyeing something. This is big. This is big for the Chargers. If they can beat the Chiefs, end their winning streak, have a shot at the division, I mean, they would be both 9-5 if they won. We'll see if that Chiefs defense continues to be the Chiefs defense that's been studly. And then, boogity, I said it last episode, but I forgot because I'm a human idiot. Saturday games. Mm-hmm. Vegas at Cleveland. I believe Baker is out with COVID. But for the Browns, that only changes so much. I think Case Keenum's the backup, which is just kind of like a slightly older, slightly riskier Baker Mayfield at this point.
Hard to do much better for a backup.
Yeah. Remember Case Keenum's awesome year with the Vikings?
Yeah, Pat Shurmur.
Awesome. Pat Shurmur.
Became Giants head coach, and it didn't work.
How about that? So that is the 4:30 game. So yeah, I mean, if you're free Saturday, that should be a 6-7 Raiders backup quarterback, a chance to make the rest of their season matter. If you go to 6-8, it's kind of over. Cleveland, kind of opposite end of the spectrum, 7-6. If they go to 8-6, they are like in contention to win the AFC North. If they go to 7-7, that would kind of make sense for the AFC North slog that they're involved in. We'll see. Backup quarterback at Cleveland. Could be like a signature game for them. Ooh, I think Stefanski, the head coach, is out with COVID stuff too. And I always talk about how much I like him. So I guess I'm going to believe in my Raiders to stay alive. And then New England at Indy. That should be must watch. That's the night game. Okay.
It's a winner.
Saturday night, New England Patriots and how well they've been playing the Indianapolis Colts. They have won 4 of their last 5. Their only loss is the 38-31 game against the Tampa Bay Bucks, a game that they were leading, and then they had a couple mishaps that let Tom Brady and the Bucks do it. They are also, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6-2 in their last 8. Jonathan Taylor has made his argument for best running back in football. Probably can't put him over a healthy Derrick Henry yet, but
I think McCaffrey's doing his thing. He's still,
yeah,
but McCaffrey can't.
He hasn't been doing his thing a lot, yeah. So Jonathan Taylor has an argument. Carson Wentz Wentz's statses. Come on, Jake. They're starting to look good. They casually beat the Texans 31-0 last week because that's what's going on there. So man, Thursday night and Saturday night. I mean, two big boy matchups. At the same time, if you're Indy, they're 7-6. Like, they get off to a slow start. This would be a huge. This feels like a game that means more to them. At home, Indianapolis still like hates New England from the Peyton and Brady days. And New England's on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 game win streak. This I'll say this. If the Colts don't win this game, what are we doing with the Patriots? They would be 10-4, winners of 8 in a row. And we already did their losses thing on some earlier Wake and Jake episodes. Their losses really aren't that bad.
It's like that crazy Cowboys game.
The Bucks, where they had a kick at the end that would have put them on top. The week 1 loss to the Dolphins is weird, but man, okay. So Thursday night and Saturday night, we've got some winners. NFL schedule, I don't remember having that much juice, and we haven't even got to Sunday yet. Although I do believe Sunday slows down a little bit. If I remember getting a sneak peek earlier this week. I'm just rhyming. Stats is Wentz's. Wentz's statses, which still doesn't really fucking make sense. Carolina at Buffalo, no, not really. I guess the question is Buffalo like back? They had that big second half against the Bucks.
Tickets as low as $11.
Yeah, how about that? I was mad at my guy Rosillo. He did save it a little bit. He said he was like the Buffalo comeback didn't do anything for him. Because in the NFL, like, defenses let up when you're up that many scores. But I was also like, it's at Tampa with Tom Brady. Like, it felt a little Boston-y, that take out of Rosillo. And then at the end, he did Cincinnati, a team he likes a lot, came back against San Francisco. It was like 20-6 or something like that. It was like basically the same thing. And he kind of called himself out. So I do respect that part of it. We're going to find – this is Buffalo back. If they can handle Carolina, which they should, Carolina's offense just looks so bad. So bad. Arizona at Detroit, no. No thanks.
All set.
Good on that. New York at Miami, kind of the same thing. I guess, does Miami become real if they win? They could get to 7-7 after
There's
being
a path to more games mattering.
Yeah. And I mean, they're winners of 5 straight after losing 7 straight.
Wow.
So, yeah. So this, I mean, the Dolphins hosting the Jets. Yeah. Miami can kind of enter the group chat if they do it, which they absolutely should. Dallas at the G-Men. Anything, BBD? Is it Glennon again? What's going on with Daniel Jones?
I haven't heard Daniel Jones update. Saw a neck specialist or whatever. So in division games, it'll probably be closer than anyone thinks it should be. But the Cowboys are like actually good. So.
Yeah, the Talking Giants boys are sad. I just see their tweets. Almost called Bobby last night. Hey, I haven't heard from him in a little bit. And then we were thinking about doing an idea for today's episode. I think it's something we might try to do next year. I wonder if it'll be kind of within our home or if we try to do it big, because I think it's genius.
Yeah.
Share it with the Baker community, but
we could maybe do a trial run in the playoffs or something.
Can you do it through DraftKings or something? Like, it feels like something they could do. Yeah, I guess you have to track a lot of players, but, like, you can do that. Our $1 million idea that no one can steal here is Survivor fantasy football with players. So, like, if week 1 next year you pick Tom Brady, Jonathan Taylor, Deebo Samuel, and George Kittle, you get their points, cool, but you can't use them the rest of the year. So then the next week you have to use Wentz and whoever. So I don't know. In my head, that's a really cool idea.
Yeah.
Because it's basically daily fantasy sports meets Survivor Pick'em football, which both people like those. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we'll talk to DraftKings.
When we were literally doing the conversation, it was centered around touchdowns specifically, so it kind of meets our homer draft thing too.
Yeah, a little bit of homer
football
draft.
Equivalent.
So, I mean, watch out for that literally next football season. Football team at Eagles. Does this matter to these teams? Yeah, right? Eagles are 6 and 7.
Fully alive.
This is the
I think they play each other again.
Yeah, they do.
I think they
Eagles play the Giants in between, and then Washington football team again. Yeah, this is a little bit the loser dies. That 8th loss hurts. The other team goes to 500. Okay, this game is half important. Let me think. It's at Philly. Kind of respect Jalen Hurts. Heineke looked bad last week, but then he kind of saved it, and Heineke feels like an every other week guy. I'll go Washington football team. How about that? It's out there. It's in the ether. Official. After my deep dive I just did mentally in my head. Tennessee at Pittsburgh. Okay. That could be fun. The 6-1 Steelers. They almost made that comeback against the Vikings. They get a couple extra days. They host the Titans. Feels like a game that means a lot more to Pittsburgh than the Titans. They're obviously still without Derrick Henry. Titans favored by a point. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That just seems like Mike Tomlin, extra day, Big Ben. I'm still a little biased because I'm on the Steelers bandwagon for no reason. So there you go. Parlay Pittsburgh and Washington. Just made everyone a ton of money. You're welcome. Houston, Jacksonville, no. I guess it's just going to be interesting to see. These are probably the 2 worst teams in the NFL right now.
Lions, but 2 of the 3.
Lions. I think I'd take the Lions over these 2 teams.
Yeah.
I don't know. And it's just going to be fun if Jacksonville does win, which they can at home versus the Texans. Urban Meyer fired week. Okay, I'm kind of in.
Favored by 5.
That's fun. Ooh. I don't know if you can bet this, but I've got a bet for you. If you can bet on a fake punt in the Jacksonville game, that is prime. Old coach is out. We've got a chance to win.
Try something weird.
Fake punt in the Jacksonville game. Lay some cheese on that. Find a bookie that'll take that. That's the early slate. I'm excited for football this weekend. Hope Justin's dad wants to watch some football. He does. He's a sports guy. Doesn't want to talk to me.
I think you're going to like the 4 o'clock slate.
Really? Falcons at San Fran. Falcons on their last hurrah. They are 6-7, by the way. Their head coach, Arthur Smith, that everyone agrees getting the Falcons to 6 wins this season, never mind at this point, is a win. He was a contender for the Jacksonville job. Guy with NFL experience, offensive coordinator. Like, where would Jacksonville and Trevor Lawrence be if they hired Arthur Smith? I don't know. They play at San Francisco. I think San Fran's about to turn it on and make all of us look bad. I'm a little biased because I'm on the Deebo Samuel train. Also, the Niners have had a little bit of what is you doing, baby, this year. So I could see them down the stretch with Matty Ice with maybe a chance to win it. You could also see them roll. I'm hoping they do biasly because I'm the biggest Deebo fan in the world. Only because he was a guy I drafted, and I was like, I don't think I like him. I don't know if he's good, and he's been awesome this year. He's been like the second best fantasy wide receiver to Cooper Kupp. Think about that. Cooper Kupp and Deebo Samuel. These guys don't get talked about a lot. How good is Cooper Kupp?
He's ridiculous.
He was open every play last game. And by the way, they play Seattle. And this is the game we've circled for Seattle. They're 5-8, seemingly dead, unless they win this game, which would be 3 in a row, and they have Bears and Lions on deck after this. So this is the one we've had circled. Russ looked good against the Texans, but so does everybody. They beat the Niners the week before that, so everything I just said about the Niners. I think the Niners, like the Cardinals, have been struggling at home this year, and the Niners are at home. And the Niners just had their big win against the Bengals, so if they continue to be a little inconsistent, and by the way, the Rams coming off the Rams are back. Matty Stafford did it. Everyone's drinking their Kool-Aid. We've talked about this a lot in the NFL. That's when you get punched in the mouth. And this game means a lot more to Seattle. Los Angeles should roll. But if you're looking to get an underdog bet in there and try to make some cheese, consider Seattle. I'm not saying it hits, but Russ, a team that just got a lot of love last week. Also, Seattle's offensive line always sucks, and the Rams' D-line is violently
Always
gross. so that could be very wrong. Why is Cooper Kupp always open? Green Bay at Baltimore. Lamar's playing. I just want to Google that quick. Lamar Jackson injury. He hurt his ankle. He was out early last game. I don't think it's official. It says will play day-to-day, but will play. Ankle sprain. Came out really early of the last game. It'd be good if someone gave Green Bay a scare. They did lose to the Vikings 2 weeks ago, and the Chiefs before that. I don't know. Packers seem to be on their shit right now, and depending what kind of Lamar you're getting, I don't know. Hopefully that's a fun game. Betting-wise, I'd stay away. No idea what Lamar you're getting. And then New Orleans at Tampa's the nightcap, Sunday Night Football.
You missed one.
My Broncos.
Yeah.
Always. I always skip the Broncos because they show up as my game to watch. They play Cincinnati, so that is fun. We're going to find out. The Bengals that have been America's sweetheart a little bit. Not America's sweetheart. That was dramatic. That's me.
Just like everyone likes
That's
them.
me putting the chip on my shoulder. Everyone likes Burrow.
It's first year they've been
Bengals unis are kind of fun. Tiger stripes. Cincy. ESPN likes Denver a lot in this game. Yeah, this will be fun. I think this is my Broncos fandom has been questioned. Man, if the Broncos go up, I think they win this handily, and people say they like the Broncos. If they go down 10 points, I think it's over. And I think that's the Denver Broncos. And that's going back to what I said about Herbert, what I said about Pat Mahomes. That being said, my Broncos fan is kicking in tonight. Go Chiefs. So the Chargers are 8-6. And go Broncos. So they're 8-6. And let's get it going, Broncos. Be a fun game. Broncos go up early. How about this? Win the coin toss, get the ball, score the first drive. We've won the game. Coach Storielli. Done. Next question. Fayao, if we're talking about Cooper Kupp, can we quickly cover Kupp given the most technical answer to an interview question ever? We didn't cover that last week. It just kind of adds up for me. Like, we've hit a really weird part with Cooper Kupp where he's having one of the best years like a wide receiver's ever had. And obviously there's some McVay in there. Obviously there's a little bit of Stafford, but it's still Matt Stafford.
It's a thing that's new.
But Cooper Kupp, he's on path to have like the best fantasy football season ever. Like, number 2 is like Jerry Rice. Like, we're going back to that. And by the way, Cooper Kupp gets a little advantage because there's one more game. But Cooper Kupp has entered rare air of like, yeah.
I remember when Odell picked the Rams. I forget who was saying it, but one of the TV guys was like, everyone knows that's Cooper Kupp's team. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Everyone knows that?
Excuse me? Everyone knows that?
I'm just learning this.
Well, I guess the other thing with that is the Packers were supposed to be in play, and Rodgers, Devontae Adams, but also, like, you know, Stafford to Cooper Kupp. They're, like, the only guys that might be above them right now performance-wise.
Yeah, they combine both stats and, yeah.
Tampa at New Orleans, Sunday Night Football. Hopefully it can be a cherry on top of what should be a really good NFL football weekend. Minnesota and Chicago play Monday, so we'll probably watch that too. But, you know, our guy, Taysom Hill, we're a huge Taysom Hill company podcast show. He came back and had a Taysom Hill week last week against the Jets. But, I mean, he just, at the end of the day, he racks up stats. He's got this weird mix of being accurate, which is a Sean Payton offense thing, 15 for 21. He's also just a bulldozer. 11 carries, 73 yards, 2 touchdowns. And, like, when you watch him run, it looks like it. Like, he looks like a beast. So, Kamara's going, Hill's going. I mean, the Saints' game plan is going to be control the ball, keep it away from Tom. So, if they just keep racking up first downs, Saints could get back to 7-7. Let's see. Let's make it a ball game. But, man, this should be an exciting NFL weekend. I'm excited for it. I hope you are too. How about that? That brings us through the football, which brings us to the comment of the day. Bakers, I ask you guys to bake the algorithm. That means share. Leave a comment. Hit the like button. It all helps. Nobody fully knows how Facebook works. We're trying. Tom said from last episode, visualizing Jake and BBD spontaneously meeting and getting off the train is giving me what I need this week. Yeah, that'd be a good time.
That happened to me and Luke yesterday.
How about that?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Wearing his ugly vest yesterday.
Yeah.
STS Gardison says, I love JOMBOY Media as a whole, but Wake and Jake with my 2 kings just hits kind of different. Man, I love that. I love that. Okay, I'm interested in this one. Matthew Nauer. To me, the 49ers, Browns, Broncos, Colts, and Titans with Henry are the same team. Run game, solid defense, but can't be great because of an average quarterback. That's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see where all those teams land this year because you might be right, Matt, and it might be a, maybe like the Cleveland, formerly the Indians, but the Guardians. Like, is there an NFL recipe right now? If you have a medium quarterback, if you have the 12th ranked quarterback to the 22nd ranked quarterback in the league, can you get a good running back, a solid defense, win 8 games, and like keep your job? Like, will head coaches do that? I don't know. That's interesting. Tony Lopez said some really nice words about me, so I thank you, Tony. And actually, it's a conversation I've had a few times. I guess I haven't said it in a little bit. Tony Lopez says, Jake, you're the reason I didn't watch podcasts at first. Now you're the main reason. Crazy how much you've made me love you, LOL. And Jimmy K said, really grows on you, huh? Tony said, so polarizing, LOL. So, A, that's a really funny conversation. I'm probably going to screenshot that and tweet it. But no, I've said this before, and I'll give a little love. It's almost the Christmas season. You guys are the absolute best. It is true, and, adversity is probably not the right word, but this is how I always lay it out. Like, as Jimmy started going and getting popular, and then I was doing everything with him, just our natural instincts as humans is to say, like, I like this guy, I like the stuff he's doing. Now he's doing it. He just brought in his friend. Like, he's not doing it with Michael Kay or Ryan Rucco. This is just his buddy. Your instinct's to put your shoulder up and kind of not like that person. And then you multiply that by what this is. It can be a lot at first. I think once people find out it's genuine, they're like, oh, shit. And then you're right, Tony. So I'm glad you're on the boat. Also, other people don't like me, and that's fine, too. That's fine, too.
Not everybody's for everybody.
After today, maybe Urban Meyer doesn't like me.
I doubt today's one. We've said some mean stuff before.
That's true. I guess that's fair. I don't know if he listens, but he's listening now. Tom Hayes. So I'm giving a lot of comment love today, but he mentioned Trevor Plouffe's shower trick as a top one, maybe the number one moment in JOMBOY media history.
One of the
just blindsided us all with that. We wondered where it was going. I won't even give it away. It was the end of Two Talking Baseballs. Trevor Plouffe was talking about showering with the boys, and
on yesterday's ep with Jerry, someone in the comments did any of you have a similar, any of your teammates have a similar party trick without giving it away.
Oh, man. So, thank you, people. Those were the comments from last episode. Which brings us to Bro of the Night. Let's see. There's a couple fun NBA shots last night. I'll give it to the Reeves kid. Why not? He hits the game winner for the Lakers, Austin Reeves.
Oh, yeah.
If you're not familiar, man, what was his college basketball? Was it Oklahoma, or I thought there was like a Montana stop. Maybe it was just Wichita State. Oklahoma. Hey, we have some fun. And hey, maybe I was scared to say this before, but I shouldn't be. Cooper Kupp, I was going to say it. Like, Cooper Kupp's white. Austin Reeves is white. It's kind of, Caruso last year is the example. Guy became a walking meme. Bald, white, on the Lakers with LeBron, Anthony Davis. And he did his thing, and now he's still doing his thing with Chicago.
Last couple of years being kind of a stud for them.
Austin Reeves has come in. He, I think last night he goes 5 for 6, 15 points, and he hits a game-winning shot, which, man, imagine hitting a game-winning shot in the NBA. Never mind being teammates with LeBron and stuff. Like, that's nuts, dude. So good for him. The Oklahoma City stuff last night, that game was nuts. Retweeted that. But I'll give it to Austin Reeves. If you don't know, kid can shoot. He's on the Lakers, which, by the way, that's a really good formula. If you're on LeBron's team and you can shoot, you've got a home. So good for him. Good for him. BBD, you have a bro of the night?
So I didn't know about this until Rob came in and asked if I saw this. Did you see what Jackson Mahomes did?
No.
So he tried to take like a big group of people out to a Kansas City bar, and he did like straight up like, "Do you know who I am?" and tried to like show his Instagram and whatever to like get it. And they're like, "We have a bar that fits this number of people, and your group would be more than we can do, so we can't do that." And so then he went on Instagram and posted a story like, "Service here is awful," whatever, trying to trash them and whatever. And so then the bar put out like a fake apology on their Facebook, which was funny. And they were like, "We're sorry that we set boundaries that you tried to ignore. Oftentimes people with an unearned status and sense of entitlement think they're above the rules and will lash out at the employee enforcing them. We survived a global pandemic. We'll survive your ego.
Jackson Mahomes.
That kid sucks.
How many followers does he have on the talk? I'm a TikTok guy now. I'm just gonna post anything to TikTok.
That's what you do.
Jackson Mahomes. You know what? Good for him, man. Happy for him. Almost 1 million followers on TikTok. Good for him. Good for him. Okay, so that's a bruh?
Yeah, bro to him.
Okay.
Bro
Bro to the restaurant, I guess?
to the restaurant. Bro to the Oklahoma City shots.
Will survive your ego.
Bro to the place I bought
there.
flowers from.
Mm.
Got there a day late.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Love flowers. Should get some flowers.
Jackson Mahomes, 255K on the gram.
Good for him. The chat gave me some guff for saying Luke's outfit yesterday was ugly when I was wearing my swaggy outfit, which, by the way, wore the jacket again. Took it off for the show because Dad's getting hot. It's going to be 60 in the city today. The reason I called Luke's outfit ugly, he was wearing a vest that was a light brown color of a jacket I used to have. Was that same color, and his brother, James, you may know him as JOMBOY, used to call it my ugly jacket. And I did too. It kind of was ugly. So that's what I've got. People, enjoy your weekend. Big football weekend. Like, it starts tonight, Saturday games. I guess Friday night, do something with your loved ones and then sneak off for the football. We'll see if we get any baseball news. We might do something fun next week before the holidays. But it's going to be regular schedule. And then we'll see that next week gets a little iffy, the Christmas to New Year's. But we will be here. Excited to see you guys Monday and see what happened this weekend. Because I think a lot might get decided. Yeah, holy.
Or at least we'll see if the games are good, but a lot of outlooks change.
Yeah, no, like it's like teams basically can get eliminated this weekend. So excited to see that. Thank you guys. Thanks Bespoke Post, Code Jake. Gonna make everyone in the office order it. And by the way, everything on the JOMBOY Media Network. Rose Rotation, Steven Brault is back and talking some honest baseball stuff because he got released and he tells that whole story. Or non-tendered. JJR yesterday with our guy Jerry Blevins. If you want to find out some stuff about him, we had a lot of fun there. Compound Anthony Rizzo talking baseball yesterday. Also Jerry Blevins. Relief pitcher draft.
10 minutes on the tube.
Fucking Yanks. We love you guys. Watching plans. Jom still sneaking some breakdowns out on vacay. You guys are the best. Love you.